Hello everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading for today, Monday, 12/12/22. So this is a beautiful day, special day for us if we're spiritually speaking about the 12/12 portal. For those that are looking into getting some information about that, I have brought you all the deets on that. So I am using the traditional Rider-Waite deck. I did pull a few cards today. I really felt like I was supposed to be looking for 4 cards. 5 came out, so that's what we went with today. So the cards that we have here today, we have Temperance coming out, accompanied by the 2 of Pentacles, right? So there's a little bit of healing coming in with this, right? A little bit of maybe feeling out of balance, but really looking to bring ourselves back into some sort of a balance after that. Because following that up, this energy is coming in, of course, with the 9 of Pentacles, with the 5 of Cups, right? Kind of looking remorseful there, looking at the past. And the past is meant to stay in the past. That's definitely a reminder here. And rounding this out here with the 10 of Pentacles, which is beautiful, grounded, stable, happy energies. This is really good stuff. First and foremost, this is a message here to let us all know that, like, hey, the only person that is stopping you is you, okay? So I really feel like there's a message coming in. You know how they say that we can be our own worst enemy? It's like this backwards thing, right? Like, to thine own self be true. But it's like what came in, it was like, to thine own enemy be true, right? Like, so we are our own worst enemy, but we also have to really kind of decipher, how are we being true to ourselves, and are we being true to our true authentic self, or are we being true to the self that we have that's like our ego, right? Our ego is coming in to kind of help us navigate this life, right? When we touch something and we know that it's hot, it's our inner voice. It's like, oh, that's hot. Like, don't touch that, right? So that's kind of like this dialogue that we have, this narrative that's going in our mind all the time, right? So sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not, right? Sometimes we get in our car and we go to drive and it's really dark and we're like, oh my gosh, there's somebody in our back seat, when really the car was locked. There's no way anybody's in your back seat, but you build up this fear, and it's this whole thing inside your mind that you feel like compelled to look in your back seat to see if there's somebody in your back seat, even though you know it's completely outlandish, right? So that's what's coming in with this. Are you being true to your true authentic self? Are you following the path that you're meant to be here on? Or are you just making it up as you go, right? Kind of following along with like what's presenting to you externally in your environment and what feels good in the moment, right? That kind of thing, right? So really this is about getting back to our divine essence, okay, when we talk about this. So this is our truth. This is our divine plan, so to speak, right? This is our inner wisdom kind of coming out to speak truth and plant seeds of truth as we go through our life, right? And so you might be on a certain path, and I feel like, you know, you might get little hints of that, right? If you are not on the path that is your true and authentic self, you might always get little reminders from spirit where you might see something and you might feel really drawn to that for a moment. It might hold your attention, but then you always go back to where you were, right? So pay attention to those things. Pay attention to things as they come up. Pay attention to how you're feeling, right, as you kind of navigate through your life. Maybe you can kind of sit with that. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about right now, though. But this is about putting your money where your mouth is, right? Maybe you've talked about always going back to school, or maybe you've talked about always, doing something that you've always wanted to do, and, you have never actually taken any action on that. This is now a time for you to follow through on some of those things, right? I know that a lot of people talk about twin flames, and they talk about, being with their divine partner. This could really be coming up with this 12/12 portal as well. And I feel this is not a time for you to be focusing on being in divine union with your twin flame, right? Or your twin soul, for those that believe in that. This is definitely a time to be separate of others, maybe be in separation, but this is a path that you are going to take on your own, completely solid in taking this journey alone, right? Because nobody can take this journey but you. So that's very clear coming in. And so what I feel with this is I'm being shown like water running through like a stream, but it's like really muddy, murky, and then it kind of runs into something very clear. So what that means to me is when we think of like water, that's our emotions, right? You could be really confused about something or really like not sure about something emotionally, and then you could find clarity through this process. Now, this is just something that's got us reflecting maybe about this past year or thinking about what we want in the upcoming year, right? This is where we're at in this year as well. So we have the next couple of weeks to kind of go over some of these things. And so you really could be getting some clarity as you work through some of your emotions, right? So, I feel like there's probably some things that you've got going in your life that really is a little bit of dead weight, right? There's things that you've got going, you're putting your time and energy and effort into that just no longer are fulfilling you in the way that used to fulfill you, and it's just time to cut the cord and let it go, right? Let's put something purposeful back into your life. Let's get something going in your life that's completely new, right? Because what I'm feeling with that is where water tends to run very fast through a river, right? There's a nice current going and it's constantly flowing. I'm feeling that's kind of drying up, right? And when it dries up, that means there's no passion. Passion's kind of gone. Love could be gone within a relationship, right? This is what that means to me. So that's what I'm being shown. And I feel like as a result of that, you could have built up this like really tough exterior where you are kind of putting a wall up, so to speak, right? You put up this really good fight to kind of make this work. And now you're kind of, maybe a little bit defensive, kind of rough around the edges, maybe even, right? Kind of, maybe you want to make people laugh, and so you get a little sarcastic with comebacks and things like that. But it's mostly a defense mechanism that you have developed in a means to cope with everything that's kind of been thrown your way, or to deal with the current situation. And so maybe it's just kind of expired, and it's really just a time for things to kind of, move, right? Move forward, right? Because change is inevitable. And so, I feel like with this is more troublesome to you, right? Like this is going to be something that's very difficult to navigate. Please don't think that I am dismissing that by any means, because when we talk about endings, like, yeah, beginnings come in, but like ending something and beginning something, like it's easier said than done, right? Like it's going to take a lot of effort on your part. Going through your emotions and things like that is going to be a lot. I feel like there's going to be a lot of like blame game with whatever happens here too. I feel like maybe you are going to get the blame put on you for something. Like maybe you were framed for something, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that it happened. I just feel like this is a time to really get your priorities straight within you as to where you want to go and what you want, right? Like get your vision straight and know that you're making the goals and decisions for your life, right? And make sure that every single day your decisions follow through, right? Because this Two of Pentacles is definitely, you're going to have to make some sort of a decision, right? You're kind of balancing everything right now. And so I do feel like eventually you're just going to kind of fall into a place where you're no longer going to resist. You're no longer going to put up that good fight anymore. You're just going to be like, oh well, right? And so it's like exhausting, right? And so this is where it kind of falls away. What I'm feeling is where, and I'm getting big chills with this, is it's going to be like a place where you are just tired of fighting, or tired of putting up that good fight, tired of putting up that tough exterior, and you're just ready to let it all go, right? And so I feel like there's this beautiful surrender happening. And when I talk about surrender, it's a surrender to whatever is and whatever is meant to be and whatever is supposed to happen, right? And I feel like this comes in with a lot of faith, right? And so as this happens for you, I feel like this amazing outpouring of emotions. That wall comes down, right? And there's no longer a barrier to these emotions that are hidden deep within you, that you've had within you, that are just ready to be healed and to be released. And so as they do that, there's this amazing outpouring of love and this amazing outpouring of emotion. You might be feeling things very deeply right now. So it's a time to just feel things so much. And so as you do that, as you express that, right, there is this amazing opportunity to come in for you, right? It just opens the barriers energetically. I feel too like you're stepping out of, I don't want to say it's like a chrysalis of like a butterfly, right? Because most of my spiritual references, that's what I am shown, but this is not. This is, they're showing me it's just like this cocoon of energy, right? And you're just going to literally, it's going to fall away as you do that. And it's going to lighten you. And you're going to raise your vibration. Because when you raise your vibration, you feel lighter, right? And so as that happens, there's like new opportunities coming in, right? And it's, you are ready to just, you're prepared. You're there for it, right? It's time to seize that day. And so, as that happens, you feel like, gosh, like no time like the present. You're ready to just live in that. And so it's this journey of this amazing faith. And I feel like you might feel as like, gosh, I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to do this. I just feel like I'm supposed to do this. And so you just start one step forward. You just start down this certain path and you don't know exactly how it's going to work out, but you start to take some action toward something because you just feel this call, right? You just feel this need to do it. And it's this clarity, right? This, not a becoming, but like a remembering of exactly who you are and why you're here and what you're supposed to do. And it's just beautiful. So I just feel like all that's weighing you back is really just falling away. And you're stepping into basically, right, like consciousness, the consciousness of it all. And so you instinctively know exactly what you need to do. I love it. It's beautiful. So as everything becomes clear, though, I feel like that automatic shift in perspective happens, right? Where things that used to feel like super important to you, they might not necessarily be important to you anymore, right? Like they might seem even like trivial. I want to use the word trivial. Things that used to be like really important, they might be put on the back burner because I feel like this will now become what is important to you, right? It's like, I feel it's like the beating of the heart, like the essence of, you feel like it's urgent, like this is it, this is my lifeblood, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it like breathes life into you. And I love it. So it's really beautiful, like a process. So with this, you know, I feel like with that shift in perspective, you might be seeing like different repeating numbers, like the 1111, the 333, right? Pay attention to those things. You might be seeing repeating symbols, right? You might see angel, like little angels or something everywhere. Pay attention to repeating themes. Are you seeing things happening over the next few weeks? Because that might give you clues as to if you are, you know, feeling a little bit like, gosh, where do I start with all of this, right? Pay attention to your thoughts, right? As things kind of surface to heal. Who needs to be forgiven? Where do you need to extend that forgiveness within yourself even? Everything is vibration, okay? And you are no exception. And so as you start to raise your vibration, things will start to come to you a little bit easier, right? That's how we manifest a little bit more easily. So as you work through all of this, get real raw, honest with yourself, right? And you might want to journal, you might want to meditate, however it looks like for you. Sometimes for me, it's just sitting in a room by myself talking out loud, right? It's weird. Fun fact about me. Could be walking in the woods alone and talking to yourself. Hopefully nobody sees you because they might think you're a little weird. Or literally hugging a tree, right, to transform some of that energy and ground. Driving in a car, listening to music, saying your prayers and intentions, getting on like this really amazing, I love to do these too, amazing like positivity, gratitude rants where I just start talking and just talk about all the amazing things that are happening and how much I'm so grateful for it and all of the wonderful things. So whatever that looks like for you, to help you to work through these feelings and to raise your vibration, right? And as you honor some of these feelings and help to raise your vibration, we feel better when we raise our vibration, right? We feel energetically, we feel lighter, right? We have more joy, we have more peace, we might even have less pain in our body, all the things. So really quite beneficial for our body. Okay, so drink more water to help to get you through this as well. And I do feel like all of this release is going to be massively beneficial for you in the end. And even though it might feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning or initially here, because when we feel things deeply, it sometimes can make us feel uncomfortable if we are not used to allowing ourselves to sit with those feelings. But in order to be able to release them or to heal them, we have to be able to sit with them, to feel them, and not push them away or distract ourselves, right? You might also feel yourself feeling the energy, right? Physically. So you could have headaches, you could feel tired, you might have like aches or pains in your body, just whatever that is, ringing in your ears, whatever that is. Just notice it, honor it, rest if you need to. And on the other side of this energy, we will be bringing in amazing things. So as you work through this today as well, we have an opportunity to start to think about the future, think about what we want in 2023, where we're going in 2023. And today would also be a very good day to really set some intentions, or maybe this evening sit with your journal and do some writing about where you're going, what's coming in for you, and how great it feels to finally have some of these things in our life. And so really bringing in some of this energy and focus on our manifestation as well can help us to move into 2023, set intentions for 2023, and really start out with a great mindset for 2023. I like to do the words. Lately, the last few years, I've been doing the words, like what word to start the year and to end the year. And then, so for me, for this year was freedom, and I felt that on a very much of a collective level as well. I felt for freedom. So what is your word closing out the year? And then think about what your word might be coming in for you for 2023, because of course your intuition is going to trump anybody else's. So, or what you are hoping to bring in. So this could be self-defined word. It could be a word that comes to you when you're meditating, right? This could be something that comes from your higher self, right? So I'd love to hear what your word is if you are doing those things, or what your word was and how that manifested for you this past year. I'd love to hear about it. Hit me in the comments below. But thank you so much for everybody tuning in, listening today. I appreciate it so much, and thank you so much for everyone that has been listening to my readings and liking and commenting, and I appreciate it all so much. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful to be able to be a conduit for spirit and offering such amazing readings for others, and guidance and helping us through some of this rougher energy at times. So I appreciate you all, and I will be back, of course, with another read for you guys all again soon. So thank you so much. Take care.